Hello and welcome back to the Oak City Plains and Prairies map on FS25. This is episode 5 of the series. So today we are going to be moving into the third month, or at least we should be jumping into the third month here off of the bat. We did just turn around and finish flipping a couple of fields for the month. So we got a few of those in. Some were harvested by the AI, and then we did finish up a couple of fields in the last episode, and then the one other field we did do was this field, which was like parsnips, or no, it was red beets. Red beets is what it was, so that put us up to the 1.9 million, and that brings us ready to move to the next month and start kind of planning our future and what we're going to do. So after looking at some things, we have turned around and kind of decided this over here, this plot of land, what is it, 118, we are going to turn around and buy, which is going to be ready to harvest next month. So that's kind of going to get us kick-started on something to do there next month. Not a lot of other fields out there. We do have some big one, or a big one up here, which is actually also sugar beets. Wow, we should almost actually think about picking that up as well. How much is that? If we just went up there and picked that up, we'll probably, you know what, let's just buy that so we know it doesn't get harvested, because we'll go up and flip that field next month. But this field we are gonna go and harvest. We have plans for, so that's kind of where we're gonna kick in today. So let's jump in here. We will go ahead and sleep until 8 o'clock in the morning. That ends month 2. Jumps us on to month 3. There we go. See where we're at. Alright, gonna lose a little bit of money, not a ton of money, so we're doing okay. We did purchase some land, so I actually have a decent chunk of land up there. This is actually a big plot, 61 acres if we put in the whole thing. I mean, the field's obviously nowhere near that big, but the plot is actually a pretty good size field. Alright, so it doesn't look like they harvested a ton of things out there, so we still have about the same options we did. I think we are going to go do this one, so we will jump in there. Send a call over quick. We will need a new piece of equipment. Let's see if we can get that over to the dealership there for us. Beet harvester, we need that. We need... what do we need? We want, those are vegetables. We want sugar beet. We could go with the realistic 4 meters, but I think we're going to go ahead and just match this up with our vegetable head. So that was 10 meters unrealistic. We don't need the crop. We don't need camouflage. This is going to be a beet head. So is that an eyesore to look at? Kind of an eyesore to look at. I don't want to do that one. Let me use that for potatoes or something. Let's just go black with it. We'll go black, and then we'll trim it out in the beige for beets. Cool, that'll work. We don't need a plate. Let's get rid of that. Double check everything, nothing worse. Alright, let's buy that. Great, cool, rock on. And we will go swing by and pick that up on our way out. $35,000. Not horrible. Alright, moving along. Wait, whoa. About to go the wrong way. Whoa, those tinted windows do not make their early morning driving not the thing. swing in here and we will grab the head there. Should not be too much of a problem. And get on our way out to our field. I don't think we have a very long drive here, so if we can avoid the poles. That's the one thing with this map I will say, is that some of the poles for signs and lights are a bit out into the street. They tend not to cause you a lot of problems, but that is one thing I guess say is kind of a little I think our field opening was back there by the bush. There's another one down on that end, I believe, but we are just going to do this here. Suppose we got to check our bioplastics. We may actually be able to make a little bit of money there, but let's go ahead and knock this field down real quick. Shouldn't be too much of a bother, all things considered. We will just be selling the product here as kind of a bonus payoff, as it was about ready to be harvested, so we got it just in time. And then we don't have to remove any of the wow, that runs out into the bush, that fence. We don't have to remove any of the fences, although that one we may get rid of, because it's kind of a bit of a hassle there, actually. So let's go. No, missed. There we go. Cool. Why no GPS? Why not no GPS? Well, that'll be a bit... Okay. We'll end up getting these on the turnaround. No big deal there. We're obviously, if we can't use a GPS on this field, that's a bit weird. I haven't really run into a lot of that around here. Or, well, obviously, I guess that's a little bit of a weird issue. Let's see. Let's try to do something about that once before we just go. We can't do anything about it. No field. Okay. No field. We're just going to have to deal with it. It's fine. We have bigger and better plans for this field anyway, so we can just kind of go ham on the harvest here. Nothing wrong with that. Good thing we can do it kind of speedy and don't have to have a big headache. So that's fine. No big deal. We will get this knocked down. Whoa. And then, oh, there's the field. Check that out. It all of a sudden popped up. So there we go. Don't have to give up on it, but gonna turn around and harvest this. We will turn around and get a few loads in the truck, and then I will check back in with you. There we are. First load is in the harvester here, so we are gonna have to go get a trailer and bring that out to the field. Actually, we need something that's going to be easy to sell it out of, so let's just turn around and run the truck out there. That's going to haul a lot more for this kind of weight anyway. This kind of weight, liter yield, you know, we're going to pull a lot off of this field, even though it's a little field and it's not like it's 100% yield bonus or anything like that, but obviously sugar beets a lot of volume there, so we will turn around and run this down. Make some decisions, bus driver. We are definitely not sticking to status quo here. We're going to be ripping. Nice thing is the sugar beets, so whether we drive on it or not doesn't really matter. We're not going to hurt anything, doing anything. About half of the field probably, I would say, is harvested at this point. That backed up. Get ready to just mash on the gas and go. Sweet, that is good, and we are out of here. Back up and running. So we'll get that going, see if we can get the rest of this picked up, and we'll check back in there. There we are, finishing up the last of the field, so that's another 198,000 liters. So not quite going to fill the machine up twice, but that should give us a nice truckload. So we'll get that in there. Alright, pull that in, up, off, and fold it. Takes care of off and fold it, and then we can jump in here, and this we are just going to turn around and sell. So I suppose we could go through here quick, take a look and see what we can get out of sugar beets currently. Not horrible market price, to be honest. We're not at the top, we're not at the bottom. We'll take it though. 560 Frontier Harvest. Great, cool. We're gonna tag that one. Oh, out that direction. Cool. That'll give us a chance to run out the other side of the field. Go ahead and get the top closed on that, and then we will run over and see what we can get paid out of this. Just about down the street here. Actually, it wasn't too far to go, but we are about to bring it in. Kicking out of work right here soon. We're actually only getting up to 60 something, so the kind of weight or the terrain, whatever the case, not flying down the road anyway. Getting the job done though. Terrain is kind of soft. Alright, let's dump this. Basically free money here. Should be quite a bit with that much weight anyway. This will help offset the cost of the land. There we go. Cost of the land double. So that was a winner. Good time to pick up the property, honestly. Just the land plus double. You know what? We may actually keep that land. We might keep that piece way up north there where we turned around and bought that chunk. That would actually give us a nice size piece of land, and if we can harvest it and get the money back for it, I mean, this one we got the money back basically a double for it. So we got the land paid for, and we got about that much money back. So we'll have to see what we get out of that north field. If we get enough, maybe we just keep the field and go ahead and start planting up there. Alright, we can just bring this, although we're gonna need it. Actually, we're not gonna need it. We could use it though. Alright, well, I'll get these things out of the field, and then we'll actually get on to doing doing projects with the field. Alright, there we are. So the equipment is now staged up and ready for that field up top. We will turn around and take a look here at the map. This is the field that I refer to. 61 acre plot, but we can obviously see that that's probably 20, maybe 30, something like that, acres of the field. We'll say 30, about half of it. So we can go up there and see what we can pull off of that, which we will be doing probably later. 87% actually on a yield bonus, so that one should yield quite a bit. For the time being, we're going to jump out here and take a look. This is the field, obviously, that we just harvested. So we're going to go ahead and start doing a few things with this one. First thing we want to do is come down here, and where that fence is sticking out into where the fence is sticking out, we're going to get rid of that chunk right there. That can go away for sure. Alright, cool. The rest we'll figure out as we go. Alright, work from this side. Love it. All the frogs, all the noises coming off of the water are great. So we are going to put in a new production here. Is going to be our plan. See if we can start making a little more money for the farm. Obviously, the bioplastics, with what we're currently sticking in there, we're not making a ton, but we do want to kind of get another something going on. So we do have this multi-grain production, which is honestly one of my absolute favorites of all of them, to be honest. Really like this production, or this mod. So definitely going to use it. We'll just kind of see what we think is sort of straight in the area. And then we'll drop that somewhere back in here, almost right in the middle of everything. Just because this is going to be one of our go-to, although we're never going to turn around and have it doing all it can do, because this thing can do a ton. We are going to use it sparingly, but it's going to be kind of our I'd almost say breadwinner, but it is going to be a money maker for us for sure. So we'll just kind of stick that in there for now. And we'll go in. What we want to think about here for roads. Drop in the back. Guess we don't really know how much anything else is gonna work in here, so let's just go ahead and mark a driveway here. See how much of that we can get away with marking. Alright, can we get rid of, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, cool. If we can get rid of those, let's do it. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and clean that up, and it will bring the driveway in. But if we're gonna do like that, let's bring the driveway in something like that. That's probably wide enough. Cool. We know we're going to have a lot of trucks coming in and out of here. And then if we're going to do anything else with fence, we'll mess with that later. We're obviously going to put a lot more road in here, but let's just kind of see how things work before we commit to too much. We know we have a nice piece of property here, so we don't have to get too crazy, I guess, off of the bat. Although we could put a proper road all the way in, but then that's a bunch of money, and if we're gonna, who knows how it all works out, whatever. We can always change it, so not that big a deal. I'll try to put in some kind of road here. just a light road for now. That totally missed where we wanted it. Although probably not, because I would really probably do something like this in the first place. Then we'll go from there. Just tossing something in for now anyway. Not really, you know, super important, I suppose. Let's get some of that. Ooh, there we go. Working along those lines. Cool. At least this way we know we have a little bit of civilization in here. Obviously not a lot. We aren't that civilized yet. A lot of wilderness on this map. Alright, there we go. That gets us in here a little bit. Even though we'll probably never stick to actually driving on that road. But that's going to do that. So then we need to bring in a little bit of product. Or a lot of bit of product. Whatever, we just need stuff. What do we got? We could take the truck. We could take the truck or we could take the Argo wagon. Either one is going to do the deal. Wait a minute. This is the small one. I don't even know if this trailer, or if this tractor. Let's see if this tractor will even pull that trailer. Yeah, we're cruising along just fine and dandy. Whoa. What are you doing? We're getting lost. Alright. We are totally in the wrong place. To go over and grab some wheat is what we need. We're going to have that in the grain elevator. This has got to be the big tractor. Oh, is that even going to fit in there? Watch this thing not fit in there. It doesn't fit in there. Alright, well, that is definitely not going to be our grain runner then, and we are for sure going to use the semi. Unbelievable. So this thing really, man, field chaser, you know? If you need a big field chaser, this one is good for that. It is really nice for that. Easy to catch the combine spout with this for sure. But not going to fit in a lot of places either. Pretty big. I guess I honestly hadn't even considered the idea that it wouldn't pick this stuff up. If we were picking out of that, just fine. But with our particular grain elevator setup over there, or grain silo setup, that is not going to work. So we'll jump down here. Yeah, we could probably get it in there. Alright, back in the semi. So we'll go see about picking up some wheat here and seeing if we can at least get something going on to start paying back stuff. Now that we have a little bit of money invested into two businesses, we're gonna have to keep them, or try to get, you know, product in there where possible. So 50,000 liters kind of going to be our goal here. I think that should get us started anyway. Without tapping it all out, give us a rough idea of where we're going to be. Alright, moving that out. Not too far a drive, I don't think, over to our little bakery here. I have to turn in there 10 times more. One field over. That's hilarious. The little shack out in the middle of nowhere. This road will definitely get bigger as we use it more. No, just give us a rough idea where we're going anyway. It's kind of all it needs to do for right this minute. There we go. Drop that in there. Groovy, groovy. Now we're in the dirt. Jump out here. We will head into manage this one. Great looking interior in here. It's the bakery. Open. There we go. Cool. This one gonna do breads, cakes. You know, it does some cereals. It does corn tortillas, which is definitely going to be a thing we're going to get into. At this time, we don't, currently have any corn to do that with. So we are going to go down here to whole wheat bread, which we are going to activate. And that's going to store. And then whole wheat flour, we want to distribute that, because that'll kick it over for the whole wheat bread, and then we're going to activate that. So that should get that up and running, right? Yeah, currently, hopefully, this will actually run. This thing runs pretty quick and runs a lot of stuff. I have used this mod before. This bakery, absolutely dig it. 20 for 20, it's great. And then you get the wheat bread out of it, so 25 for 20. So you get a pretty good exchange rate across the board, and the stuff sells for a pretty decent amount of money. All right, so that is in now. Cool. We are gonna need the truck. At this point, let's see, what else do we have to do for the month? Go see our bioplastics, which we could sell. Nope, that's dairy. Wrong one. There we go. Take a look in here. So we do have some to sell. I mean, not a ton of stuff. We're definitely not running out, though. It looks like we burned through about half of that canola that we had in there. 16,000 liters of wheat now. I think that's over 2 months or a month and a half anyway. So we're not going through stuff too super fast there. Probably a little bit of money, I think, at this point. Unless we're looking at like a high month to sell, which quite honestly I don't know. Let's go take a look. Just a rough idea. Yeah, so it looks like January. So we'll just let it stockpile until we actually need... Until we need money, or it hits January, because it's only going to profit us more money. So I think at this point what we'll do the rest of the month is we're going to look at the sugar beet field that we picked up to flip, and depending on how the profit works out on that will kind of be where we go from there. So I think we will just I'll get everything staged up there, and then we'll check back in. Alrighty, here we are jumping into the field. So we have got the first pass down here. As you can see, we are going to turn around and fill up pretty quick regardless of what the holding is on this one. Obviously with the unrealistic level lets us hold a lot, but we are going to fill up really rather quick doing this field. Have jumped in. Obviously we'll take a look here quick. Again, the 61 acre plot, I'm guessing that the field's somewhere maybe around 30 acres or so. It did have a decent yield bonus on it. We have a little bit here that we'll have to come and clean up. Jumped into the field kind of in a mess there, but it's gonna be like what, 3-4 passes looks like, and we should be filling up. So the yield should be pretty high off of this one. At any rate, which will be good for the pocketbook, especially being that we don't really need to do anything with this. You know, sugar beets are great for the sugar mill if you're going to run the mill. Definitely will not be putting in a sugar mill anytime real soon. A lot of pallets there, if you ask me. So we'll be checking into some other industries before we get involved in a sugar mill at any rate. Alright, swinging this around. Good to go. Probably fill up on this row, I would think. Kind of looks like there. Gets the job done quick. Even though the yield is definitely not 100% bonus or anything. Roll it. Is it going to make it to the end? Just about. Right. Then we will just jump over here to the truck quick. Sinks in the sand quite a bit. So that's one thing with this map is that the soft terrain is definitely soft. It takes a little bit of effort to get out of it, depending on your wheel set for sure. Kick that over. Hopefully we're close enough. Should be good. On the money. Alright, so we'll run that. Looks like probably going to take more than one trailer full to get this field all picked up. So I'm going to go ahead and get this trailer full, and then we will catch up with you, I think, at that point. And that's going to take care of trailer number 1. So we do have the 400K fill line on this one. Hit. Going to turn around and get this trailer out of here, or do our best to get this trailer out of here in one piece. And we're just going to turn around and sell it regardless of whatever the price is. We're going to just sell it at the nearest anything we can get our hands on. So wherever that may be. Which is the grain placed just down here a ways. Like the harvest company or something. Ooh. Pretty sure we can sell them there. That's going to be our first attempt anyway. Like I say, regardless of the price, we have enough trailers going to come off of here with enough weight that we're not going to worry about even whatever the price is. Also, it's a field flip, so free money. We aren't going to complain or take it any further than we need to. Decent, and yes, we can sell it here. That's what we needed. Should be a good chunk of change. 218,000. Not a bad chunk of change at all. We'll take the $250,000 just about per load. So a couple more loads to go. By the time we get this field done, we should be nice and set up for future plans. Again, you know, Person could do 10 contracts or flip one field. There we go. Ooh, we're running through the snake here. Nice. Wow! Mash the gas and go. No holding back. Set the cruise on go. And go. Not a slalom runner, this setup, but getting the job done. So we're going to set that back here and then jump in, and we'll catch you on the next trailer. Alright, this looks like it is going to be our next trailer full right here. So we will be running that down to sell it as well. A little bit of pickup there. There. Alright, so let's go get that sold. Jumping that out. Swing it out of here, another 217. So good profit so far. I mean, we're at 430,000 or something like that so far. So the field would definitely cover the cost of itself. Now the question is whether we want to keep it. I mean, it is a 60-acre plot of land, which would be great. The problem, as I see it with it, is it is way up here, so we're just gonna see how that goes. But let's grab the next trailer and we'll think about it as we go. Alright, so here we are rolling in for the final pick of the field. Gonna be the last load. Looks like we have, what is it, 4,000. We didn't get over, so we're 1%. Yeah, that's hilarious. Over on what we can fit in the trailer. So we will get that down there. Get that sold. Gonna be a good profit for sure. So, you know, a good 600,000. Probably 645, 640-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. Off the whole field when it's all said and done, so definitely worth the drive up here. And like I say, this would be a great field to keep working, but I think for now, honestly, especially with the equipment we have, some of the equipment we have is still really super slow, so I think we will be just kind of flipping this field over and giving it back, although we do probably have enough money to keep it. But I think I'd rather get into fields that are closer to home and would be easier for us to work. So that, I think, is what we'll stick with. We'll have to go up and take a look at selling that field off. Well, let's get this sold first and foremost to see where we're at with the rest of our money. Okay, getting that in there. Pull forward anymore, we're gonna rip the door right off. Definitely profitable operation, that. Alright, good thing we're not doing property damage. Alright, jump back up here. Yeah, alright. to get this sold, we'll have to get rid of the fences, so I'll do that, and then we'll get ready to sell this and get our equipment out of here. Right. That should take care of everything we need to sell that. Yep, so selling that one, back to 866. Wow, that puts us, wow, that was a lot more money invested in that field than I thought. Okay, so yeah, 2.5 million, gonna get the job done there. Super successful, actually. I mean, we just profited, yeah, quite a bit. Well, I guess we could always just come in here, take a look at our finances. Yeah, harvest income, $877,000. So we can get over the fence this way. We definitely can. Sweet. Still 4,000 on board here, so we can't turn around to get this thing folded up, but we did get a lot of money out of that. I mean, over $750,000, definitely more than I was planning on. Still really super early in October, so plenty more we could obviously do as far as snatching fields or something if we wanted to, but I don't think we have a heck of a lot that's in position that we actually don't kind of want to mess with the original look of things, to be honest. As I'm coming in, let's take a look. Any outlying fields, we could go after that one. Small, not super worth it in my opinion. We could buy up a bunch right there and go harvest a ton of different things, to be honest. Options are endless. Yeah, I think for the most part, really, we're sitting in a pretty good spot. We have a ton of money. I think we're left to make a few decisions. I don't want to turn around and rip off every field that we could. I mean, if we'd have done crazy amounts of contracts, we'd have probably not been able to make as much money as we already did. So I think between actually already having in one production and making a bunch of money, yes, it's early in the month, but I almost think that we'll be heading to the next month. Once we head to the next month, we actually have a full grass harvest that we can pull. I wonder if we have any way. We'll do it the easy way. Just offload the 4,000. We'll just get that offloaded into there. As little as that is, and totally not worth it, but that's gonna let us pack this bad boy up. So I think we'll get that packed up. We'll obviously dump the crumbs in there, get it sold, but at 2.5 million, I think we are gonna call that one a success for sure. Say thanks for tuning in. Remember, if you get a chance, like, share, subscribe. Subscriptions are free, but they sure do help the channel. Y'all have a great day.